So a sheet of loose leaf paper met a handsome pen in the park. Now despite her flammability, she still felt a spark, and all the paper clips played tag with an eraser and scissors. And the pencil beat up a pencil sharpener for sharpening his little sister. The pen was very bold, but he was thinner than a twig, so he said to Mrs. Loose Leaf, "Girl, I like my woman big." Her girlfriends were all hating, yelling, "Come around you and leave." But she replied with, "Get your butts back inside the sleeve. You see, their love would soon blossom." There was never question why. Together they wrote things that made grown men start to cry. But one day Mrs. Looseleaf came with blue ink on a dress. So the black pen went to go grab a drink at the desk. How could she do this to me? This must be a crime. Those things to be written. Now someone else writes on the lines. Now he's drunk of ink. And he thinks a boy to get with her. So he paper naps her and throws her body inside a shredder. All those things they created, shredder regrettably, all because Mrs. Looseleaf engaged in writing infidelity. So the lesson has been learned and has now been written in rhyme. You can't have two pens and rub them both at the same time. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lance Newman. What I do here in Louisville, Kentucky is I teach poetry workshops and creative writing workshops in different JCPS schoolings, community centers, and different juvenile detention center programs, right? The beauty about what I do, it's an art form, poetry. And it's unlike any other, right? Spoken word, it's dynamic, it's popping, it's sizzling, it captures the attention. It speaks on social issues. It speaks on every type of aspect of walk of life you can think of. For the past 6 or 7 years, I have been traveling the nation doing this poetry, right? I have been to many a convention where you get hundreds of poets from 32 to 40 cities, and they're all there just reciting poetry. And I've taken the model and I've brought it back to Louisville, right? What I do here is really teach people how to express themselves while promoting public speaking, right? Public speaking is one of the biggest fears we could ever have. You know, some are scared of spiders and the dark and different aspects like that. Speaking in front of people, you'll get somebody to eat a spider before you can get them to speak in front of a crowd of people, right? So what I do is teach children how to express themselves in a correct manner, a way to just kind of get their point across without stepping on any toes or fumbling over the words, which I do often, but it's okay. You know, when we get on stage and we realize, you know, we all have more in common than we do different. It's really an easy transition. So, that being said, this is my website, which is under construction, because as you can see, the web address is this long, Spread Love Enterprises, blah, 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 Wix.com, blah. Money for web domain. You know, things that we are fundraising for and things that will come with time. The beauty about the work that I do, it doesn't matter. This is actually a picture from our Spread Love Blue event where we took 4 different days, did 4 different venues in Louisville, had music and poetry, and it was a really good time. The mayor came out. He was really excited about it. So, I have open mics. So another thing I do, I teach workshops. That's my teacher hat, right? Then you have the host hat, the personality hat. Put that hat on, and now I'm hosting poetry open mics. There are different poetry open mics that we have going on around the city. You didn't even know, right? Louisville actually is, they're really getting on board with the idea of having poetry events, and not just your regular open mic readings, but real poetry slams. Louisville Lit. These group of guys right here. I am actually the slam master for Louisville, Kentucky. Slam master means anything having to do with slam, competition in poetry. I am the guy to talk to. I've gone around the city promoting slam as a means to kind of get us all on the same page. So, Sweet Peaches on 18th and Muhammad Ali. This is where I hold my monthly slam. It's a small area, really kind of condensed and personal. Smaller than this room even. It's really crazy, right? But it's nice, nestled right in the Russellville neighborhood of Louisville. And what we do is have these poetry slams where I have random people come up, they sign up, get about 13 poets. We have 3 rounds. It's really exciting. you cut like 12 of the, or you cut 7 of the 12, then you have 6 in the second round, you cut 3 of those, 3 in the last round, the last final round, they compete for like $35. But it's all in the joy of the poetry, right? One of the many mantras I say at these slams is, the point is not the point is the poetry, right? And it gets real fun. So I would like to invite you all to that. It's free to guest, even though due to growth, we might be changing that here soon. Just, it's getting too big. I mean, it's getting standing room, really. But those are different things. Now, this is my website again. It is spreadloveenterprise.wix.com/spreadloveenterprise. Very difficult. Very difficult. Twitter. Yes, you can find me on Twitter. There we go. That's beautiful. I didn't know we were technologically on the par here, but yes, Twitter. Please find me on there. It is Mr. Spread Love. That's really easy to remember. Spread love is kind of what I do. It's kind of been my whole movement. So, thank you.